Today, look what I found in your dressing up box. A nice pirate costume with a scary face, so I thought I would put it on. And although our story today is not about pirates, I thought I remembered a pirate joke. So, do you know what a pirate's favourite letter is? R. There we go. So now I'm going to tell you a story. Take off this costume because it's a bit hot. Been very warm today, hasn't it? Okay, so where's Lamb Chop? Here you are. What's you doing over there? Busy? Yes. Okay, well, come and listen to the story then. There. Sit there. You can't see him, can you? Let's see if we can make him a bit closer. There. Oh dear. I'll just have to fix that. Hang on. Ooh. Fell over now. No, that's not going to work. There we are. It is working. Okay, right. And where's Bunny hiding? He's gone right over here. Don't know what they've been doing. You've been playing away too. Yes, they have. Right, sit there. Be good, pair of you. Okay. Oh, don't know what you've been drinking, Rabbit. Anyway, today's story is going to be one that we've not heard before, and it's called Stories About Mog. And Mog is a cat. So it's Mog time. And are you sitting comfortably? Because we have a story called Mog, the Forgetful Cat. And there is Mog with one of his owners. And we're going to find out who that is. So, are you sitting comfortably? Then I'll begin after all that kerfuffle. Right, so there was once a cat called Mog. She lived with a family called Thomas. And here are the family. There's Mr. Thomas, Mrs. Thomas. No, I can't read that, it looks backwards. Nicky, and Debbie. And that's Mog there in the middle. Very good. Mog was nice, but not very clever. She didn't understand lots of things. A lot of things she forgot. She was a very forgetful cat. Sometimes she ate her supper, then she forgot that she had eaten it. Sometimes she thought of something in the middle of washing her leg, then she forgot to wash the rest of it. And once she forgot that cats can't fly. Wasn't she a funny cat? But most of all, she forgot her cat flap. Do you know what a cat flap is? A cat flap's a little door that people put in the bottom of their door that's small enough for a cat to get in and out, but not big enough for a burglar to get in and out. So, there she is, going out of her cat flap. The cat flap led from the kitchen into the garden, so Mog could go out and in again. It was her own little door. And there she is, coming in the little door. The garden always made Mog very excited. She smelled all the smells, she chased the birds, she climbed the trees. She ran round and round and a big fluffed up tail. And then she forgot the cat flap. She forgot that she had a cat flap. She wanted to go back in the house, but she couldn't remember how. There she is, in the garden. So I wonder what she did. In the end, she sat outside the kitchen window and meowed like this. Meow, meow, until someone let her in. And there is Nicky letting her in. Afterwards, you could always tell where she had sat. This made Mr. Thomas very sad. He said, "Bother that cat." But Debbie said, "She's nice," because she sat in the garden on one of the plants. Cats do that sometimes. Just when you've made the garden all nice, they dig it all up again. Once Mog had a very bad day. Even the start of the day was bad. Mog was still asleep. Then Nicky picked her up and hugged her and said, "Nice kitty." Mug said nothing, but she was not happy because she'd been sleeping. Such a big book. Then it was breakfast time. Mug forgot that cats have milk for breakfast. She forgot that cats only have eggs as a treat. Oh my goodness, she tried to eat Nicky's egg. She ate an egg for her breakfast. Mrs. Thomas said, "Bother that cat." And Debbie said, "Nicky doesn't like eggs anyway." Mug looked through her cat flap. It was raining in the garden, Mug thought. Perhaps the sun is shining in the street. When the milkman came, she ran out. The milkman shut the door. The sun was not shining in the street after all. It was raining, and a big dog came down the street, and Mug ran. And the big dog ran too. What a big dog. Mug ran right round the house, and the dog ran after her. She climbed over the fence. She ran through the garden. She jumped up outside the kitchen window. She meowed a very big meow, very sudden and very loud. Meow! Mrs. Thomas said, "Bother that cat." And Debbie said it wasn't her fault. And there she is, outside the window, in the window box, flattening the flowers again. Mug was very sleepy. She found a nice, warm, soft place and went to sleep. She had a lovely dream. Mug dreamed that she had wings. There she is, fast asleep. She could fly everywhere. She could fly faster than the birds, even quite big birds. Wow. Suddenly, she woke up. Mrs. Thomas said, "Bother that cat." Debbie said, "I think you look nicer without a hat." Debbie gave Mug her supper, and Mug ate it all up. Then Debbie and Nicky went to bed, because I think that Mug had been sleeping on Mrs. Thomas's hat. Oh dear. Mug had a rest too, but Mr. Thomas wanted to see the television. Mr. Thomas said, "Bother that cat." There she is, trying to have a rest on top of the television. That's no good, is it? Mug thought, "Nobody likes me." Then she thought, "Debbie likes me." Then she thought, Debbie's door was open. Debbie's bed was warm. Debbie's hair was soft, like kitten fur. Mug forgot that Debbie was not a kitten, and she started to lick Debbie's hair. Oh my. Debbie had a dream while she was asleep. It was a bad dream. It was a dream about a tiger. The tiger wanted to eat Debbie, but it was licking her hair. But of course it wasn't a tiger at all, was it? Debbie shouted. Mug jumped. Mr. and Mrs. Thomas said, "Bother, bother, bother that cat." Debbie said nothing. She was still crying because of the bad dream. Oh dear, poor Debbie. And Mug ran away. Mug ran out of the room and right through the house and out of her cat flap. She was very sad. The garden was dark. The house was dark too. Mug sat in the dark and thought dark thoughts. She thought, "Nobody likes me. They've all gone to bed. There's no one to let me in, and they haven't even given me my supper." There she is. Oh dear, she's sad. That beep beep noise is Grandpa making pizza, and he's going to turn it off in a minute. Then she noticed something. The house was not quite dark. There was a little light moving about. She looked through the window and saw a man in the kitchen. There we are, it's gone silent now, see? Mug thought, perhaps that man will let me in. Perhaps he will give me my supper. But it's not an ordinary man, is it? It's a burglar. She meowed her very biggest meow, very suddenly and very, very loud. Meow! "Oh!" at the window. The man was surprised. He dropped his bag. It made a big noise, and everyone in the house woke up. Mr. Thomas ran down to the kitchen and shouted, "The burglar!" The burglar said, "Bother that cat." Mrs. Thomas telephoned the police. Debbie let Mog in, and Nicky hugged her. A policeman came and they told him what happened. The policeman looked at Mog. He said, "What a remarkable cat." And then she was happy. "I've seen watchdogs, but never a watch cat. She will get a medal." Debbie said, "I think she'd rather have an egg." But she did get a medal. Look, it says on it, "To Mog for bravery." Mog had a medal. She also had an egg every day for breakfast. Mr. and Mrs. Thomas told all their friends about her. They said, "Mog is really remarkable," and they never, almost never, said, "Bother that cat." And that was a very good story. But we don't very often get burglars, do we? We're very lucky that burglars don't come in our house, so don't be frightened. And also, I've never heard of a cat having eggs for breakfast. Have you? There. Well, Mog's story was nice. Maybe we'll have a Mog story another day. But for today, not only is Grandpa making pizza, but I'm going to eat the pizza. I can hear him now getting the knives and forks out of the drawer. Aren't I lucky? So we'll say goodbye. So say goodbye, Rabbit. Go and play. Say goodbye, Lamb Chop. Don't go too far. And we'll see you tomorrow. Okie dokie.